Okay, this is DragonofEternity and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker MSQ. In the last video, Urion J decided to stay behind on the moon with the moon bunnies in order to help them prep things better for life on the planet. Although this moon being a vessel to ship all of their souls away from the dying planet is really a last resort. Righty, Stola, returning home. Riding home. Your excursion on the moon concluded, Ishtola is keen to return to Ephesus. With the Loperets in Urion J's capable hand, we needn't worry about affairs here in our absence. Knowing now the face of their earthly collaborators, there was much to discuss with Alphino and the others. Let's return to the Tower of Babel. Our battle for the star will soon begin in earnest, and we must be prepared. Alright, before I go, Urion J, Xenos is still on the moon somewhere, so be on the lookout, okay? Okay. Alright, I will get the rest of these ether currents off screen, so then I can fly in Garlemald and the moon. Woo. Let's put all this stuff here. I'm getting a lot of random shite. Well, it's not random, it's good gear. It's just I don't have a use for said gear at the moment. Alright, let's go back then. Boom. Don't interrupt me, monster. I'd forgotten how cold it was here in Garlemald, a testament to the Loperet's ingenuity that I felt no such discomfort on the moon. So that's why there's wind currents and air, and a decent temperature. Gods, I can scarcely believe we went to the moon and back. But we'll have time to reflect on that later. Right now, we need to head back to Camp Broken Glass and deliver a thoroughly detailed report to Lucia. I'd like very much to know how everyone is getting on here as well. They'd only just begun to treat the tempered prisoners when we left. I share your curiosity, but warning our allies of the final days is of greater importance. I speak not only of the contingent, of course, the heads of every state of every nation must know what we have learnt. We know not when or where or in what manner the final days will begin to manifest, so we must see that everyone is prepared. Agreed, though we may wish to stress the importance of discretion, lest the public be sent into a panic. Not that anyone in a position of responsibility should need be told as much, but it bears repeating. Anyway, first things first, to Camp Broken Glass. Aye aye. Right, let's go to Camp Broken Glass. I wonder where I'm going next. Well, I've still got like 2 areas I haven't seen the second half of. There's secret area number 5 and there's secret area number 6. Yeah, I just gotta find out where. Let's see. To Lucia. So we defeated the Telothroi, but Xenos is still somewhere. And now we have the final days. Mariashna, at last you're returned. No one else is zoning in. Okay, Lucia. It's good to see you all again. No worse for your lunar adventure, I hope. We've done what we can for now, and believe me, we intend to tell you all about it. But before we do, might you tell us what's become of Garlemald in our absence? We succeeded in subduing the Tempered inside the Tower of Babel. We took many alive, but combined with those who were already in our custody, the number requiring care has grown exponentially. The inclement conditions here have made it difficult, if not impossible, to treat them all here. so we have petitioned the aid of the allied nations. Some are, understandably, hesitant to offer assistance, particularly those that were but recently subject to imperial occupation. That said, several of us have agreed to grant them refuge for treatment. With the assistance of your fellow scions, we endeavour to see them safely transported and subsequently cured of their tempering. Will all of the tempered be relocated? Not all, no. We have sufficient shelter to attend to those whose treatment have begun, and enough healers have volunteered to remain until their patients have recovered. Julius is one such patient, though he is not yet fit to receive visitors. Truth be told, it was a miracle he and those in his company were not harmed in the chaos. If not for Alphino and Analyse's timely assistance, I dare say none of them would be here with us today. Great, so Julius is alive. We can help him with the Garlemald reconstruction. In light of recent developments, have the Alliance leaders come to any decisions regarding Garlemald? Given the tremendous ramifications of what has happened here, it will take time to determine what must be done. In the meantime, they intend to work with the Eastern Alliance to keep a close watch over the provinces. We have other news to share. Shortly after Anima was defeated, we received reports that each and every tower has vanished. For our mercy, the process was apparently not quite as violent as that you experienced in Favnir. Those who were trapped within them have been rescued and are receiving treatment. To hasten this endeavour, the beast tribes have received instruction in the magics needed to cure tempering. Master Matoya is no doubt thrilled the Mother Porksy affords her so many visitors. Yes, we are grateful for her ongoing efforts as well as those of our comrades near and far. As for the contingent, several of our members have been granted leave to return to their homelands after the transfer of Tempered has been completed. So Little Son's back home then. Lucia and I will remain, along with a small force, to continue offering aid to those here in Garlemald. The Empire may be no more, but there are yet those who call these lands home. I believe that accounts for recent events here, so what of the moon and Interlofroy? Oh boy. Where do I even begin? So you see, there was this giant blast of energy onto the moon, which destroyed 5 of the 6 seals that were holding Zodiark. And then the bunnies decided to kidnap Uronjay. The final days, gods, I prayed your victory would mark the end of our troubles. There is still much we do not know, but the Alliance leaders must be told. Would you be willing to contact them in our stead? Yes, of course, I will send word forthwith. We'll also release your fellow scions from their present duties, that they may return to Charlayan. Your energies are better spent finding a means to avert the coming apocalypse. Speaking of your fellow scions, you will be happy to hear that Mistress Kryl, though still on the mend, has been moved to the Baldessian Annex and given into Tataru's care. Thank you, I look forward to seeing them both upon our return. Let us be on our way then. Whoa. One last thing, if I may. After your confrontation with Zodiark, you said Xenos took his leave, and in all likelihood, he has returned here to Garlemald. I have in mind to dispatch scouts to try and ascertain his whereabouts, but first wish to ask you if you believe there is merit in doing so. If they found him, they would likely not live to tell the tale. If you're expecting a trail of destruction to follow, you won't find one. An admirable futile endeavour. If they found him, they would not likely live to tell the tale. Just leave the asshole be. I suppose you're right. To dispatch good soldiers in pursuit of a beast would be to send them to their deaths. I mean, I'm sure a few members of the Eastern Alliance would welcome that challenge. Pray forget I entertained the notion even. While on the subject of Xenos, the 10th Legion has made an official proclamation. They denounce the Crown Prince and condemn his role in the Empire's downfall. His very title has become a source of shame among his former subjects, and his continued use serves only to hinder relations with foreign nations. For this reason, he is declared as Xenos Viator Galvus, outcast and enemy of Garlemald. Damn, he's got no one. Not even Fandaniel. Fandaniel is no more, and now his own people turn against him. It seems he's naught but his bloodlust to keep him company. And that's void entity, I guess. Better that than an army to see it sated. At any rate, I will not keep you any longer. I pray you safe passage back to Charlian. Aye, we've got a little discussion with the forum members about the Loprits. So, teleport back to Baldesia Annex then. Alright, what do you two say? Once my countrymen have recovered, it falls to me to tell them what become of Xenos in the Empire. I realize there was no kindness in withholding the truth, but it will wound them. Yeah, it will. Your findings will be relayed to the Alliance leaders word for word, and should we spy anything out of the ordinary here in Garlemald, all shall be informed at once. So I might be returning here then. Okie dokie, good to know. Good to know. Sea of Stars. There's a lot of space here for just Sea of Stars. There's a lot. Which makes me think this floating island is a potential location. You never know. Right, back to Tataru and Kryl. Maybe Hyland will tell us something now that Zodiac's been offed. You never know. Where am I in terms of MSQ? Let's see, if the last expansion was anything to go by, the level 90 quest should be the final quest? So if I discount that, so I've been through the 80s, 81, 82, 83, 84, I'm about halfway through? Maybe. 30 episodes in and I'm halfway through. Ay, this is going to go on until bloody 6.1. And then I'll record the 6.1 MSQ. Oh dear lord. That's Kryl. No one else? Yes, Tataru. Oh, it's good to see you, and free from chill blains, I take it. Free from what? You'll be pleased to know everything's been kept in order since you've been away. I even brought a few useful knickknacks with me from back home. But no sooner had they arrived than I received a Kryl in poor... Then I received word of Kryl in poor health, and you on the moon. If you meant to give me a fright, you succeeded. Welcome back, Marashta. We were so terribly worried about you. Though it is plain I have caused my own fair share of worry, and for that I apologize. Hyland called to me that day when you entered the Tower of Babel. Her pleas were faint but desperate, and I knew at once she required a vessel to carry out her will. What came after feels like a dream barely remembered, my body flowing through the life stream towards Garlemald. When I regained consciousness, I was all aches and frostbite, exhausted of ether. So exhausted, in fact, I could only laugh, for it was in that moment I understood Rohar's weariness from the Tower of Zod. Would that I could laugh at a time like this. Though he prevented Zodiac from being unleashed upon the world, I am curious to know what else took place there on the moon. Well, you see, there were these bunnies. Perhaps we should wait for the others to join us before you give your account. Let us reconvene in the main hall once they've arrived. Alright. I guess I'm waiting then. Wait for your comrades to arrive, yes. There's a lot of places I haven't seen from these pictures. Maybe it'll make sense post-game. Maybe. Maybe I'm just staring in the face of a future zone. That'd be great. Is this voiced? Nope. Sorry to have kept you all waiting. Not at all. We understand you've been quite busy. Will Urionje be joining us? No, he's on the moon. Don't worry, he's alive. Duty keeps him away, I'm afraid, though Marashta can explain why better than I. Well, you see, there's these bunnies on the moon, and they have a contingency plan about ferrying us to another world, and... The final days, as befell Amarot. And we are to escape via the moon. What of the source and its reflections? Yeah, what of your granddaughter Lena? I've no intention of standing by while the world falls to ruin. So, how do we stop this? Unfortunately, we have no answers at present. If the celestial currents have grown stagnant, as was the case in the time of Amarot, the solution would be to alter the flow of ether throughout the entirety of the star. The ancients accomplished this by summoning Zodiac, sacrificing half the star's population in the doing. But it should go without saying that such a sacrifice cannot be repeated. Which leaves us with the daunting task of identifying the underlying catalyst for the final days, a feat which even the Amortines could not accomplish. Unfortunately, we found no clues in Mare Lamentorum. There is still much we do not know about the catastrophe itself, let alone what may have caused it. The final days were marked by the corruption of the Amortines' creation magics, but we command no such power, which invites the question, what havoc is in store for us? If we knew that much, perhaps we could draw some parallels with the events of the past, and thereby form some semblance of a plan. Perhaps we should start with the Forum, then. Having worked with the Loporrits in secret all this time, there is surely more they can tell us. Forgive the interruption, but I've urgent news. The Forum is holding a public assembly in the plaza outside, some sort of announcement. What's Father up to now? There's only one way to find out. Let me guess. Everyone in Charlian, get on the bunny ship. Everyone else, fuck you. That kind of deal. Oh, I don't like this music. I do not like the Tesline music. God damn it. I think it's a voiced cutscene, so I better mute.
Order! Order, I say! I thank you all for gathering here on such short notice. This day we must speak of grave affairs and their implications for the future of Charlian, nay, of this very star. Said affairs concern all citizens, and so we have called for a public assembly. You may have heard rumors of the Talopheroi and the havoc these madmen wreak abroad. Under normal circumstances, we would pay little heed to petty disturbances outside our borders. The final days, however, are another matter altogether. For we dare not ignore these prophetic words of Eld. The Endbearers will come, ushering chaos and calamity. The final days descend and devour the very star.
I've never heard this prophecy.
Is it true? Will all that really happen?
Calm yourselves. The time has come to speak of the Forum's most sacred duties. But first...
Give voice to the voiceless. Let bindings be unbound. By unanimous decree, I declare the enchantment broken.
Master Le Veilleur, if you would.
Very well. "270 years ago, our forebears began an expedition in the Dravanian hinterlands, in search of a route to access the ethereal sea. This much is public knowledge. Their findings, however, would become the Forum's most closely guarded secret. What those researchers discovered in the hinterlands was not a passage unto the ethereal sea, but the very heart of our star, and Hydaelyn herself. She spoke to them of a calamity that would extinguish all life, and of a means by which we might be spared. The moon. 'Tis in truth a gargantuan vessel built to serve as sanctuary for her children, and deliver them from this doom. Much like Nunkref's hope in ages past, it will bear the people of a world in the throes of death to a new home.
Needless to say, this will be no small undertaking. To facilitate the great work, the Forum has maintained close contact with the servants of Hydaelyn, who presently reside on the moon. Convinced that the foretold end was all but inevitable, we began amassing a wealth of knowledge, not merely for the betterment of our nation, but in preparation for the journey to come.
You reveal this to us now? By the gods, how long do we have?
While we cannot say with certainty, we believe the hour to be nigh. We received a transmission from the moon suggesting as much not long ago. Which is why we must in earnest begin preparations for the great exodus. For his impressive contributions and the leadership he demonstrated during our withdrawal from Dravania, we have elected Master Le Veilleur to oversee this initiative.
Fellow scribes and scholars, my countrymen, we face a threat of unprecedented scale. We must challenge the trials before us with composure and conviction if we are to find salvation. The wisdom of Sharlayan has ever been a shining beacon in the darkness, and so it shall continue to be. It is our solemn charge to see our heritage preserved for future generations. For those who will come after, we will brave a new frontier.
Administrative edicts will be relayed to all major institutions ere long. In the meantime, carry on with your duties. With that, I hereby call this assembly to a close.
Do you remember what Mother told us when we visited home? That it wasn't until after we were born that Father seemed to lose himself in his work. If that great work of his was the evacuation of this star, then...
Yes. It wasn't for his benefit. Would you mind waiting here a moment? I wish to speak with Father before we leave. I may look daggers at him, but I will neither speak nor draw them.
If it's all the same to you, I have a few choice words to share with Father as well.
So, come to call us cowards and bid us join your fruitless battle against the inevitable.
Nay, we do not object to the Forum's proposal. On the contrary, those who wish to flee have every right to do so. Urianger is cooperating with your associates on the moon to ensure that all is ready should evacuation be our only recourse.
Then whatever your business, I suggest you be brief.
Though we cannot boast the boundless wisdom of Sharlayan, we have first-hand knowledge of foreign cultures and have conversed with no small number of peoples. These experiences have taught us fundamental truths that cannot be recorded in any tome, nor charted on any map. The beating heart of this planet is its people, many of whom would give anything, even their lives, to protect the lands they love. Many may choose to join you in the end. But what of those unwilling or unable, for whom escape will never be an option? What would you have them do? To ignore the plight of those one might conceivably save is not wisdom, Father. It is indolence. This is why we choose to fight.
We'll not ask for your understanding, Father. Only that you don't turn a blind eye to the good we have done, that we can still do. We're not children in need of protection. Hold fast to your principles and let the world burn if it please. But we believe there is still another way. And if there is, we will find it. You see if we don't.
Do as you will. Just stay out of our way.
Were he not so consumed with self-righteousness, he might tell you how proud he is of you both.
Bold words call for bold action, and there'll be no turning to your father should plans go awry.
As if I ever would. So long as there are those who wish to stay and fight for this star, we have to do what we can to help them.
And if we're to do that, we'll need to be well rested. Wouldn't you agree? And having triumphed over what we once thought to be the source of all evil, I can think of no one in greater need of at least a dozen winks.
Shall we then? To the Annex, to prepare for tomorrow.
You can definitely see Fortunaut faltering. Fortunaut. Yeah, you can definitely see him faltering in this. Speak with Ojika Sunjika. Okay. I still haven't had a chance to kick Fortunaut in the dick yet. Which is a real shame. Yeah. I'm still gonna do it. If I ever get the chance to see his bloody NPC in the game. Right, so load me in, Ojika. Quail tells me the Forum made a rather momentous announcement, so there's to be a great exodus, is there? I'm reminded of my narrow escape from the Isle of Al. The realization, the running, the mixture of relief and regret after why me, I asked myself, why me? Why us? Why now? Why wonder? It's no use fretting over the cosmic morality or lack thereof. We're here, and we'll get through this together. And who knows, maybe my luck will rub off and grant everyone a narrow escape. There's no harm in praying for as much. Ah, but enough of my rambling. I'm sure you're exhausted. Your chamber awaits. Whoa. A visitor has come knocking at your door. Whoever could it be? Don't make me choose. I'll fuck you. Let's go with Graha. Let's go with the boy. I have to go to the inn and go through all of these options. Oh, he's nervous. Get in here, buddy.
Oh, apologies. I didn't mean to... If you could spare a moment before bed. Thank you. I fear this may be the last quiet night we have to talk for quite some time. I am troubled of late. Unwarranted concerns, perhaps. I hope. Nevertheless, I feel compelled to share them with you. Though you have bested your enemies thus far, Xenos and even Zodiac, your victories have come at a considerable cost to yourself. No one is without their limits, and you are no exception. I worry the added weight of the final days will prove more than you can bear. It is surely too much for any one woman. But you needn't bear it alone. Let me share your burden. My, carrying capacity pales in comparison to yours, but I could still help. Shoulder the occasional satchel from your ever-growing mountain of, baggage. You have already done so much to help relieve me of mine own encumbrances. 'Tis only fair that I repay you in kind. Of course, it needn't be only troubles we share. Moments of joy may seem few and far between now, but there will come a time when we look back fondly on this journey. The inquiry at the Forum, our march through the snows of Garlemald, our impromptu dinner in this very room. All of it. And that is to say nothing of the journeys yet to come. To the ends of the world and beyond. But tomorrow will be no less busy than today, and I've kept you from your rest long enough. Sleep well, my friend.
Thank the gods that tower is gone. The sight of it was enough to make me sick.
Thank the Ilsebar contingent, more like. Word is, they fought their way into Garlemald and toppled the bloody thing themselves. Not just the one, neither. All the towers have up and vanished.
Aye, I heard the same. Commander Aldin and his troops helped keep casualties to a minimum, too. But is it true they brought back tempered Garlean soldiers?
As Commander Aldin tells it, they've a treatment for that now. But don't you worry. Cured or not, they've no plans to bring them into the city proper.
I see. Well, that's a relief then. I know we've brothers and sisters among the lot, but I can't say I'm eager to welcome them home.
Wanted to think about it for a while yet. They're to be looked after in Alagana for the time being.
Another day, another commission of paramount importance. Well, what have we here? Hey, are you all right? Was that? No. The shadows play tricks, nothing more. The towers are gone, and the Garlean threat is abated. And yet, why does it feel as though it's about to get much, much worse?
Dare I ask what's with the music? Oh no. That might be a good time to end things. Alright, I'll wait till things have loaded in. At least the quest giver. Tataru. That amount of XP, that's a dungeon. That's a dungeon. That is most likely a dungeon. Okay, I'm saving that for next time. Okay. Oh boy. Wait a minute, what level are you? 85. So I'm still a level ahead in terms of MSQ. Okay, that's nice. That's good to know. That is good to know. Okay, so I guess I'm going to be ending this video here. This has been DragonofEternity going through more Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker MSQ in the in the last video, in this video, I made my way back to Old Charlene after spending a few episodes on the moon. And we got news about the forum, working with the bunnies. We had a little chat with Grahatia. And now we've got some bullshit happening in Favnir, by the looks of the map. So I guess next time I'll be taking the Skies of Flame quest from Tataru. I feel like this is literally the halfway cut in the game. It has to be. It has to be. But yeah, I guess I'll have those little thoughts and theories next time. So with that planned out, viewers, with my rambling hopefully now finally done, until next time.